Let's talk about classification of matter. When we think of matter, we're talking about anything that has a mass and occupies a space. And that is pretty much everything that you see around you. It is made of matter. When it comes to matter, we can classify it from a macroscopic point of view, which is what you can see with your eyes. And for that would be that when you look at things, they're either liquids, they're solids, they're gases, and in the case of stuff that is out in the universe, they are made of plasma. They're in the plasma state. So literally, if you look around you, you're going to find objects that are either liquids, solid, gases, and plasma. And all of this is matter. Okay? Now, when I start looking a little deep into what matter is made of, I can actually classify this guy into two main groups. The first one are pure substances, and the other guys are mixtures. So when I think of mixtures, I can actually think of two further ways to classify them, and we're going to talk about homogeneous mixtures or heterogeneous mixtures. And then also we're going to look at the pure substances, and we're going to classify these guys as elements or compounds. So now that we already talked about the periodic table, we are kind of familiar about elements. So elements are those substances that are made of one kind of particles. And then we have, for example, oxygen, we have carbon, we have nitrogen. So these are all elements. Okay, and then compounds are one or two or more. So I'm going to write that, two or more elements combined, and this is a combination combined through a chemical bond. And we're going to talk about that later, but for now we're just going to call that a chemical bond. So, and they're permanently combined. So you have heard of carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide. Just for example, we also talk about water. So all these are compounds. And if you see, I actually have two kinds of atoms here. I have a carbon atom and an oxygen atom in my carbon dioxide. Carbon monoxide, I have a carbon atom and an oxygen atom. And then for my water, I have two hydrogen atoms and one oxygen atom. When it comes to mixtures, I can classify them as homogeneous or heterogeneous mixtures. So think of homogeneous mixtures, those that you can't really tell the parts. So it looks like one big layer. For instance, when you make Kool-Aid. Making Kool-Aid, you can't really see where the water is. It is all one unison combined amount of mixture. So we have that guy over there. And in heterogeneous mixtures, I actually have a mixture where I can see parts. So let's say that I have a little bit of this guy over here of one substance, and then I have another one combined, and no matter what you do, it pretty much just stay that way. You can shake it and it can kind of mix for a little bit, but it doesn't remain there, so you can see layers. Okay, and that's what a heterogeneous mixture will look like. And we're gonna obviously get a lot deep into this, guys, but for now, this is what you need to know about classification of matter. In the practice exercises, you're gonna be given different examples, and you're gonna practice classifying matter into pure substances, mixtures, elements, compounds, heterogeneous or homogeneous mixtures.